Thank you, everyone, for being here today. This is a wonderful event. I am Salt Lake City Mayor Jackie Biskupski, and I am a welcomer. I wanted to have you come today to help us celebrate. And I know that during this celebration, we are also thinking about some of the recent actions by the federal administration to further limit immigrants coming into this country and the concern that raises for all of us. I have certainly spent more time than I ever anticipated as mayor defending our nation's immigrant and refugee communities. But we are defined by our times, and this call to action is one worthy of the office that I hold. Worthy because it's a call to action which will help define who we are as Americans and who we are as people. And I simply cannot allow anyone, regardless of title, to rob either of our basic humanity. Let's be clear, since this president took office, cities have been threatened with sanctions by our own government for refusing to enforce federal immigration law. Our borders have been closed to refugees based on religious affiliation and then on national origin. And children have been taken from their parents and placed in detention camps for crossing a border in hope for a new life. The goal of this administration has been to seal our borders and dim the light of freedom and opportunity for all. This federal administration is not mirroring what this community or this city's administration feels about our immigration population and the refugees that stand with us. So it is incumbent on cities like Salt Lake City to stand up and say we are welcoming places because our American values will not allow us to stay silent while our nation's greatest truths are undermined by fear and hatred. One way we do this is to put the face to the spirit and the struggle of those who have come to America to build a new life. By sharing in their journey and experience, we make ourselves stronger. By helping them integrate into their new lives through opportunities like my office's Know Your Neighbor program, we make ourselves better Americans. Today's exhibit, created by the incredibly talented Nick Sokoloff, will take us through this journey and I believe inspire each of you to do more. While this exhibit is part of Welcoming Week, we know that compassion and understanding has no timetable. So we are keeping this exhibit up indefinitely here at City Hall. I want those who visit this building to see the faces of Salt Lake's new Americans and embrace the fact that we are one. Thank you to Nick Sokoloff for these beautiful photos and for agreeing to let us display them here and for working to get them made into murals for the Granary District. It is my pleasure to introduce Nick to you and have him share a few words.
Let's see. Is it hot in here? I can't really speak and think at the same time, so I've written a little something. And I would like to thank everybody for being here on a Thursday at 4. I know it's a hard time, and fortunately we have some of the subjects from the photos here with us, which is fantastic. Let's see. Here we go. When I began this project almost 2 years ago, I had no idea what the reaction to it would be. I have been truly amazed and overwhelmed at the number of people that it seems to touch on a personal and emotional level. Salt Lake has a big heart. People seem to really care about one another. I'm intensely proud about the participants in this project, as well as the generosity of spirit that I have witnessed from everyday people during these trying times. I'd like to thank the mayor for her generous introduction and for helping to create and maintain a welcoming atmosphere in this great city. Salt Lake is truly a national leader in this regard. I am greatly indebted to Fatima, over here, for all of her help, both on this exhibit throughout this project and for her tireless work in the community. Also, many thanks to Amy Harmer, who's also holding my baby, so extra thanks today. She's with the Utah Refugee Connection, and there would be no project without her. I'm very grateful to be presenting this work in this beautiful building today. People often ask me why I started this project. One answer is that I have a tremendous love for the city of Salt Lake. I wanted to show that as a city, we support all of our citizens, regardless of color, religion, status, or accent. Most especially those who might feel currently under threat or unfairly scapegoated. Mostly, I want to thank the refugees, immigrants, dreamers, and all new Americans, both those pictured here and those not. Those who have courageously and boldly been willing to share their stories in picture and word, learning about their history, resilience, dedication, bravery, aspirations, and kindness leaves me in awe. In every interview, I hear a similar theme, one of gratitude and thanks for the opportunities afforded in their transition to this country. Seeing America through their eyes gives me hope. These folks make us a richer, deeper, more vibrant, solvent, and interesting community. And I hope these themes come through in the work. So, I hope you enjoy the show. Please say hello. If you have ideas about how to raise money for this project, let's talk. And I'd like to introduce Miss Africa, Christelle Benatti, who's right here. She's going to give us a few words about her own journey, and then we'll reveal the pictures.
Sorry, I was busy taking
That's
pictures
right.
of you. So.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I have my notes too as well. I'm new to public speaking. I'm not as good as the Mayor Jackie is, so I'm still practicing.
You're good.
So first of all, I'm very honored to be a part of this amazing revealing of the new exhibit. I am very grateful for people who pay attention to the stories of refugees. I too am a refugee, and I am just going to talk to you guys a little bit about my experiences as a refugee. I was born in the city of Goma in the Democratic Republic of Congo during the Second Congo War in 1998. The Second War was also known as the African World War that lasted for 4 years and 11 months. The fight was between the Mai Mai, which was a Congolese rebel group that was organized to protect Congolese people. They were fighting against the Hutus and the Tutsis, and another rebel group called the Duramwe. I don't know if I'm saying this correctly. But when my city became the battleground where rebels would rape, kidnap, kill women, children, and men, my parents finally decided it was time for us to go. We didn't have many options on where to go. On the other side of Congo, it was surrounded by a lake called Lake Kivu, which is a very big lake that borders Congo and Rwanda as well. On the other side of Congo, on the right side, is where Rwanda is located. At the time, both Congolese and Rwandese people did not trust each other due to rebel groups from both countries causing war amongst innocent people. Rwanda was not an option for my family. We illegally crossed the border to Uganda and finally found refuge in a refugee camp in the northern part of Uganda called Arua. In Arua, the government relocated us to a refugee camp called Imvepi, where we lived there for 2 years and a half. Life in the refugee camp wasn't easy. Both of my parents didn't work because there were no jobs for them to do. As children, we couldn't attend school because one, it wasn't safe to attend school, and second, there were no schools. We spent most days indoors because of the lack of trust amongst other refugees in the camp. Food and water were a privilege to have in the camp. In the camp, we constantly battled against malaria and other diseases. The nearest hospital was 10 miles away. There were no transportation, so every time we would get sick, it was my father who had to carry us to the hospital. When we were finally accepted to come to the United States, we had to keep it a secret from all of our neighbors. For the second time in our lives, we left again, everything behind, and moved to a new country. Both of my parents graduated from high school in the Democratic Republic of Congo, but only my father had the opportunity to graduate from college in Congo with his bachelor's degree in teaching. Because the education system here is very different from that of DR Congo, my father's degree is not valid in this country. As a result, my dad has had to start over just like anybody else. He started with his GED, and right now he's a student at Salt Lake Community College studying accounting. Both of my parents work very hard to provide for our family. My parents have sacrificed everything in order to give us the best life. They always tell us, if we can't do it, you can do it for all of us. Even throughout our difficulties, my parents have encouraged our family to get an education and learn how to serve others. In my recent service trip to Ghana with the Village Book Builders, I was reminded of how important it is for us to one day try and give back to the people in our home country. We are given the opportunity to come here to the United States and get free education. And for some of us who are lucky, we also get scholarships and we get to go to college. I believe that it is very important for each one of us who has been given this chance to go back to our own countries and work and do something there. Not only work and do something in our countries there as well, but also work in the communities here to help uplift the people around us. I was reminded of how important it is for us to one day try to give back to our country, and I think the New American this new project, the New Americans of Salt Lake City, it basically paints the portraits of people who are coming here to America. Like Nick says on his website, it states that these are people who come with struggles, spirit, and inspiration. We have a lot to learn from immigrants, refugees, and undocumented immigrants as well. Most of it is this project exposes a group of people who are ambitious and strive to succeed in this country. If you still don't understand how the experiences of refugees are like, look at one of the portraits and read the story of a refugee. Picture yourself fleeing your home, losing your family and friends, losing everything that you've ever worked hard to build, losing your job, losing the career that you worked hard to get, the career that you worked hard for, losing the home that you bought yourself, losing everything that you can possibly call yours. Now picture someone else opening their arms to you and giving you an opportunity to start over. The New American of Salt Lake City project paints a different narrative of refugees than the one that is being portrayed in the media and by our current administration. I know this project will open many hearts and teach everyone to learn how to love our neighbors. We all want the same thing in life, and that is happiness. And so as the images are revealed today, I want each one of you guys to really ponder, to look at these stories and look at them as if they were your own. And then let me know afterwards what you think about it. We can go from there. Thank you so much.
Oh, very good.